Well, hello enemies book lovers. My name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. We are doing a kind of like a reading vlog project. I am being very ambitious with this, but I am looking forward to seeing if it actually ends up working out the way I'm hoping it'll work out. For this video, I'm going to read all the books that are currently out for the Undone series, along with Unbound, which is the third book that is coming out, I think April 7th. Yes, April 7th. So Unbound's coming out. I actually got this on NetGalley as an ARC. I didn't realize there was a whole series already, so I ended up just deciding to read all of them in this one vlog. I'm reading them back to back. I am not a series reader who reads things back to back. If I can accomplish this, maybe it means I can read my series closer together. Maybe. I am someone that puts like years in between my series, so I am a little optimistic that maybe I can actually get this done. This is a contemporary hockey romance series. Again, I technically went into this wanting the third book, but hey, we're here for the long haul and we're going to be reading all three books. So for this video, we're going to be reading Unsteady, Unloved, and Unbound. And I don't really know a lot about this, but I'm going to try my best to let you know after I read a little bit about it. I will come back to you and tell you more what it's about, but the first one we're going to be reading for today is Unsteady. I only have 3 days until this is due to my library. I have the ebook on my Libby app and it is due in 3 days and there's a hold on it. So I have 3 days to finish this book. It is under 400 pages, should be pretty reasonable. So let's get started. Let's start with Unsteady and let's try to get some reading done. It's also a very beautiful week this week. So maybe I can go on a walk. That would be really nice as well. I had a really bad headache this morning, like almost migraine. I was like almost blacking out from it, which is really bad. I ate food, I drank, I took a little bit of medicine. I feel a lot better now, which means I can finally get into reading. I do get hormonal headaches and migraines. It is horrible, but right now I'm able to do it. I can read. So we're going to start with Unsteady and I'll come back to you when I have more information about what it's about. Again, they're all hockey romances and they all are interconnected standalone, so they all have characters within the books that kind of connect with the other ones. So I'll also let you know what characters are in each book. If you don't want to know, you might just want to skip that stuff. There's going to be no spoilers, although I will tell you some like quotes and some vague scenes without saying too much description. I feel like it's kind of hard to spoil romance books because it's pretty, you know, like tick, tick, tick on what happens. Try to get to know each other. They become a couple, third act breakup, then happy conclusion. So I'm not going to still spoil anything, but usually these are pretty simple and easy. So we're going to go with Unsteady. We're going to start it and I'm going to spend the day. My boyfriend is gone for most of today and tomorrow, so I have a lot of time to read on my own. So we're going to try to get a lot of ambitious reading done today and do that with Unsteady. So let's start. I'll tell you what it's about when I come back and let's begin reading this series, shall we? Okay, so I am 16% in the middle of Unsteady. So I've read a little bit, not much. I want to continue more today, but I want to tell you like the gist of what this book is about. We obviously are following our two love interests in the story. The male main character's name is Reese, and our female main character's name is Sadie. Sadie is 21. I don't know how old Reese is, but I think he's probably in his 20s as well. He is a hockey player, and our prologue or like first chapter is of him going through something really traumatic on the ice. So we now kind of see him dealing with this, I would assume it is PTSD, because we start with him going to the rink to try to practice skating. He hasn't been on the ice in months, ever since the incident happened, or at least weeks. And so he goes to the ice rink, he tries to skate, and he ends up starting having a panic attack. There's definitely a lot of like content warnings within this trilogy or the series, so just be wary. So he's dealing with this panic attack, and then Sadie comes in because she also likes to practice. She's a figure skater, and so she goes in with her music on to kind of like, you know, unwind. She has a difficult life too. Her father isn't taking care of her brothers and her mother is just not there anymore, and so she's pretty much there to kind of raise her two brothers who are younger than her, and they're such sweethearts. I really, really like them a lot. They go through a lot as well, and so it's really nice to see her with her brothers, kind of like, unfortunately, like a mother figure to them, because she never really wanted that position, but she has to take it anyway, and she's an amazing sister. And so she goes on the ice, she notices Reese having a panic attack, goes up to him and tries to help him, and you kind of see them starting to have this bond with one another. At least once a week they end up going into the rink together, unintentionally, but they start to do it intentionally as well. Like they go to practice, but in actuality they're also there to see each other. And so Reese is still trying to get back on the ice and see if he's comfortable. He's still having a really hard time, but Sadie's going there to unwind, and so she kind of just like goes there to do that, but also trying to keep Reese company and trying to get him back onto the ice and seeing if he can enjoy himself again and not have this traumatic response anymore. And It's really sweet to see the two of them. I mean, it's really cute. I would say it's like a medium burn. It's not too bad. She definitely thinks he's attractive, which fair enough. And he finds her interesting, obviously. But I think it's more like he falls first, I think. The way Reese is with Sadie's brothers is like the cutest thing ever. Like, I love a paternal male main character. It's like so endearing and cute. I kind of do enjoy the fact that they do come together due to the difficulties of their lives, and they're kind of using that to get closer. So it's been nice. I mean, that's all I really know. So that's like the basics of it, is that Reese has been through a lot. He's going to the rink to try to get back on the ice, while Sadie is trying to help him through it and escape her realities through figure skating. I'm gonna obviously have to read more. I'm gonna update you and like whatever. Not as often because this is going to be way too long. There are 3 books in this video. I'll try to be careful with how many times I update, but I'll give you some quotes. I'll give you some scenes that I enjoy and all that kind of stuff. I really need a really easy read right now, and I'm really excited to do this. Do I think it's like groundbreaking? No, but I think it's fun, and I really need fun right now. I have mail. I have book mail. Unfortunately, I didn't open up Laura's package. When I opened up that package, I was after the shower and I couldn't wait. So I need to give some appreciation for Lorelai, because she got me a book as well, and a bunch of snacks and a bunch of goodies, and it was amazing. And I opened up, I think it was like a week and a half ago by now, and it was awesome. You'll see this in my TBR, you probably already saw this, but she got me Spark of the Everflame annotated. Like, she annotated herself, and I'm like, this is like my most prized possession of all time. So I kind of just want to say like thank you to Lorelai before I open up this gift, because May also got me a gift. So Lorelai and May are like my friends online, and they're amazing. They're awesome. And May got me something. She kind of said that she was thinking of giving me something, but I didn't really expect anything. So I am so excited to see what this book is. I'm assuming it's a book because it's book shape, but I do have my scissors and I'm going to open this. And also, you have very pretty writing, May. And this is the second time she's ever given me a gift. So again, thank you so much, May, for this. But let me see what the book is first. Okay, so you know what? This is exciting. This cover. This is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. I heard very good things about it. This is going to be added to my May TBR. So, very happy. Thank you so much. There's like a bunch of things in here. What? She got me a little gift. I'm actually going to read this on my own right now and open this up on my own. I don't know if she knows me this well. I don't know, but also we both have glasses, so I think you understand, May, how this is. But like, glasses cleaner, you have no clue. I literally sit next to one. Like, I have my 2 spots that I sit next to all the time. I have glasses cleaner, and now look at the cute. Oh my god. And it's like big enough I can actually clean like my phone too, and my iPad. So you know what? Look how cute this is. My friends know me so well because I love Chainsaw Man. But I want to see what this is, and I wonder if she wants to know what this is. I will tell her in my DMs. But also, Aki Con. Oh my gosh. It's a little Stardew Valley mystery phone strap. I love Stardew Valley. I love all of these things. All these things are funny. Also, the Mayor's shorts is the funniest thing in the world. So let's see which one I get. Okay, let's see. It's a little blurry. I'm sorry, but it's okay. I won't look. Is it the cow? It's the cow. Oh my god. I am hanging this right next to Cubone. Like, they're best friends now. You know what? It's actually kind of cute because Cubone is very lonely. So this is perfect. Where'd you get these from? Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Okay, that was so cute. My birthday's on the 25th, so it is a little bit past, I think, by the time I put this video up or whatever. So thank you, everyone, for that. That is the sweetest thing ever. And I'm gonna read my note and probably cry. You did this all by hand? Are you kidding me? I might cry, I might not, depends. I'm not as hormonal now as I was like, like a few days ago, but let me see. Thank you so much, May. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, you're the sweetest. Oh, you're so sweet, thank you. I'm gonna look at all these stickers independently because they already look amazing and I've only seen like 2. Stay trashy. We have this one. I want to have like a collage. Nah, this Kirby's a mood. This is literally me. I literally woke up like 20 minutes ago. Okay, there's like a bunch of other ones. Oh my gosh. This one like Easter vibes and I'm living for it. The tarot vibe. This is a patch. Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna get creative. Laura's also giving me stickers and I put them on my webcam. See, so when I'm on live streams, this is what I'm looking at. Just 2 cats. I might continue that tradition and just put my stickers literally like right on my window area so I can see them all the time. So that way I'm talking to you guys, I can just like look at them. So I might end up actually doing that. But anyway, that's what I got. Thank you so much, May. I need to blow my nose because I feel gross and that did make me tear up, and I appreciate you guys so much. A lot of my subscribers, like I know some people like me can't really afford things or just like, you know, can't really do that. But you know what? I still appreciate everyone and I just thank you. May has been an amazing person in my life. Lorelai's also been an amazing person in my life. I've just met a lot of great people on the internet. And the internet isn't always a great place. I should just say that in like general, humans sometimes aren't great, but there's also some amazing people out there. Thank you for making my birthday special. I'm very happy. I mean, I opened this a little early. I told her I was gonna wait. I couldn't do it. But I'm happy I didn't because now I have to add this on my May TBR and I'm excited. I can't do it for April because of the fact that I have already booked up, but this is going to be my May TBR. I also have to read Phantasma still. She also got me Phantasma and Paladin's Grace, and I have yet to read Phantasma. I'm waiting a little bit closer to the deadline of like the next book coming out, so I'm waiting a little bit, but I'm pretty sure this is a finished series, maybe. If not, I'll still read it because I care about my friends, and when they give me gifts, I like to actually partake in them. And let's get back to our regular scheduled programming and get back to the actual video, because yeah, that's why we're mostly here. This is so cute. Okay, so she's having a panic attack too now, and he tells her like the 3 rules where it's like, tell me something you can see, hear, and touch to kind of like regulate herself. And the things that she mentions is like, most of them are him. I'll put it right here. Like one of the things about what she can hear is his breathing. One of the things that she can see, the first thing she says is you, and he's like, be specific. And she mentions your dimples when you smile. And then the last thing he says is, what can you feel? And then she mentions you holding my hand. Like the fact that a lot of those are him. Oh my god, that's so precious. And he just like ran to her. He didn't even think about the ice, he just ran to her. All right, so I have actually been reading for a few hours today. I'm 155 pages into the book, which is actually a pretty good amount of pages so far read, and kind of my overall thoughts so far. I'm liking it. I don't think it's like groundbreaking. It's very much a classic contemporary hockey romance. Although I will say there's a lot of like dark topics within this book with a lot of our characters. I feel like almost every single character has something going on and it's pretty messed up. And as you can tell by the cover, it's definitely kind of like associated with music. So Sadie actually kind of has him listen to the music to kind of help him cope on the ice. It helps him get back into the rink a bit. So it is nice to see kind of like music being an aspect to this book. There was a playlist in this book, but I don't really listen to playlists. Like, I feel like every time I listen to a playlist for a romance novel, the song that comes up is not one that associates with the chapter. Like, it'll be like this romantic song, and in the chapter, it's definitely not romantic, or vice versa. Like, it's a romantic scene, and there's like a club song playing. I'm just like, it doesn't work for me. I have to like play them associating with the chapter. So I don't usually listen to playlists for romance novels, although I like the idea of it. It just doesn't work for me personally. Also, a very interesting, I don't know how I feel about it, dynamic is that Sadie wants more like friends with benefits, while Reese wants more of a actual commitment. And I don't know how I feel about it because like he definitely wants to be with her and he's interested in her and he's showing that he is, but Sadie does not seem to want that. She only wants fun. And so it's kind of annoying because I understand her perspective because of what she's going through, but I want her to be like okay with dating. Like, it's okay to date. They're doing things that are so similar to dating, but she's like, no, I'm not labeling it. Like, come on, Sadie, please. I think she's a little bit aggravating to read at times and not the most likable character, but I also feel like it makes sense as to what she's going through. So I can't really fault her for that. I like to give her a little bit of grace. I think that sometimes female characters are given less grace to than male characters, and I need to like realize that what she's going through makes a lot of sense. So I can understand it, but still aggravating to read at times. But I kind of see some aspects of her in me when I was younger, when I wasn't being treated well, like kind of lashing out on people. So I can't really fault her, like I said, because I know how that feels. I'm almost halfway through. There's been some like scenes so far, but nothing too much. Recently there was like the first kind of smutty scene. There's like mega sessions before that, but now there's a little bit of smut. I don't know, some people don't like the word smut. I'm just used to that because growing up on fan fiction, I used to be called that. So anyway, there was a little bit, just a pinch, but it wasn't a lot. So that's good. I like how it feels like a medium slow burn, kind of in the middle. For a book that's only 300 something pages, it can only go so slow, but I like the pacing. So I'm having a good time with that. I'll probably finish it in 2 more days. I will update you probably less often, but I will come back to you soon when there's more to talk about, but without saying too much because of the fact that we're almost at the halfway mark. Not much to say. I'll probably just tell you how I feel about it overall, and any other updates in my life I'll tell you, but it's only been 1 day, so we're doing good so far. So yeah, I'll come back to you probably in the morning, if not tomorrow, then very soon. Okay, I finished Unsteady. I probably could have given more updates, but it's not gonna happen. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. So I gave this book a 3.25 stars. Yeah, very specific. It feels like it's a higher end of a 3-star. That's why I put 3.25 to kind of show that it's like the higher end, but it's still very much closer to a 3 than anything else. I enjoyed my time overall with this book, although there are some criticisms, but let's talk about the positives first. I think that a lot of the good parts of this book has to do with mental health. I think that there's a lot of discussion around serious topics, and I personally enjoyed that because it obviously went into Sadie's relationship with her family, and then we see Reese going through what he experienced in the very beginning of the book. I think that the beginning of the book was the strongest part because we see them kind of getting closer together, we see their struggles, and I think it's really well paced. I think the pacing and the way that things kind of start to wrap up becomes a little less enjoyable or like less seamless as the story progresses. It feels a little bit more abrupt and random, and I didn't love how it was done around the middle to end area, but I still think it was a good book overall. It was enjoyable, but I don't think it was like the strongest book I've ever read. I've definitely read a lot of better like hockey romances, but again, still enjoyable for the most part. And I think that Sadie had a lot of growth. It was like really beautiful to see. We see her going from this character who's angry at everything in the world, which is completely valid considering what she's been through, and kind of starting to understand how she can deal with these problems and going to therapist and all that. So it's really nice to see that progression throughout the story. There's also no technical third act breakup because they don't actually really get together until later on in the book. So it's more of them being together intimately before they end up becoming a couple, which I don't always love, but I get it. Considering the fact that Sadie only wanted fun and that's it, I kind of get it. Although that does kind of go into a criticism I mentioned earlier, where Reese only ends up being with her intimately because of the fact that she wants to just have fun. He wants a relationship, she wants to just have fun, and he feels like if he doesn't end up sleeping with her, she won't want to be with him. And I felt a little bit weird about that. It seemed a bit strange, like it didn't really seem like a really healthy part of a relationship. I do understand why he would have done it, but it was a little bit frustrating at times, especially because when he didn't want to sleep with her, she thought it was like a personal thing, like, oh, he doesn't want to be with me intimately, like he's not interested in me like that. And I was like, girl, he literally told her that he wants a relationship with her and not just a fling, and she still doesn't understand why he doesn't want to sleep with her. I'm like, that's why he wants to be with you. He doesn't want to. Anyway, as someone who is demisexual, I felt a bit uncomfortable for him. I'm not saying that he is demi, but like it gave a vibe where he just wants to be with her first in a loving relationship prior to intimate relationship. And as someone that feels the same way, it was just a little bit icky, I guess, but it's not that big of a deal. It didn't feel like he was being pressured. He consented. It just felt a bit strange for me. Reese is definitely golden retriever, and Sadie is definitely like black cat energy. And I think that the way that she is with him, it's really understandable for most of the book, although sometimes she's a little bit too harsh with him, and I think that he deserves better at times. But I also get why she's being the way she is. She pushes him away constantly. She's always telling him to leave her alone. She can do it on her own. She's very independent to a fault. And I can relate to that. I actually am like that very much so. So I cannot even hate Sadie because I am very much like her in a lot of ways. I am very independent to a fault. Just because I relate to her doesn't mean I enjoy that part of myself. So it was like seeing a part of myself that I didn't like, and I was like, ooh. I do think that she gets a lot better, and I don't completely fault her for her experiences and stuff like that. But it's a very dark book. There's a lot of darker topics in the series, so just be wary. Like, throughout the entire series, there's a bunch of little things. So I would definitely recommend looking at trigger warnings. I'm fine with it. I don't have any triggers really. So, I mean, I have some triggers, but it's like very specific and has to be very detailed. So I think I'm safe for the series. When it comes to my other criticism, my only other criticism was, oh my God, my biggest pet peeve. One of my biggest pet peeves in romance. I had this issue with The Love Hypothesis. I love The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. I loved it. But there is one thing I hate, and that is she's so tiny and he's so huge, and I am so tired of it. Like, it's okay to have height differences. That doesn't bother me. It's the way that they constantly mention it and how little and petite and small she is and how big and giant and skyscraper he is. I find it to be a little bit annoying and just too much at times. For example, when Reese is talking in his own head, because it does switch POV, so it's dual POV between our two love interests, and Reese looks at her and he constantly mentions how little she is, like all the time. Like, oh, you're so little, you're so cute, you're so small. And it gets a little bit weird at times, like like even in the bedroom, he says it to her, like, you're so small, like, I'm surprised I can fit. What do you mean? That is too much. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable because I do understand that there are size differences, and that's completely valid. He's like 6'2", 6'5", somewhere in there, and she's probably like 5'5" or something, or smaller. That is a thing that happens with couples sometimes. There is height differences, and as someone who is the same height as my boyfriend, I don't understand it, but I understand the appeal to some extent. It does kind of get too much though when it is constantly mentioned, and also mentioned in the bedroom in like a constant way, like literally her saying, I don't know if this can work because I'm so small compared to you. It just feels a bit creepy sometimes. Just sometimes, that's all I'm gonna say. And I also just find it to be a bit annoying. I don't really like that kind of trope where it's like, she's so petite, like he can't really, like, it doesn't work because she's so small and he's so huge. I feel like it's a little bit weird. It's a bit strange. So I don't love that. It is mentioned constantly. I did not drag this down even further for me. I did not lower my rating for it, but it did irritate me every single time I saw it in the book. But again, I didn't lower my rating, It's just that it was a little bit of a pet peeve. I don't like that in my romances, and I'm hoping that the next two books don't do it because, oh my god. One of the characters in this book, his name is Bennett, and he is huge. He is the goalie, and he is way bigger than Reese, and I just know that if he gets a book, he is going to be constantly mentioned as being huge, and I'm not looking forward to it. But let's move on to the second book for this video, because we do have 2 more books for this video. So let's move on to the second one, because obviously we are here for that, and I'm really, really hoping. I will let you know who I hope it is, and then I'll tell you who the romance is. I really, really, really hope it's Freddie and Ro. Ro is the friend of Sadie, and Freddie is the friend of Reese, and they have like this little thing going on. Freddie is blonde, and again, like I mentioned, 2026 is my blonde era of actually liking blonde male love interests, because I've liked every single hair color other than blonde my entire like life. But in fictional settings, finally, 2026 is the year I actually like them. And Freddie is blonde, so I'm actually kind of excited about it. And then Ro, I really like her a lot too. She's really, really sweet. She has a really bad relationship with her boyfriend. He's not a good person at all. So I'm going to assume that him and Freddie are going to be at odds with each other for good reason, because her boyfriend sucks. So I'm hoping it's Ro and Freddie. Let me go and actually check right now with you, because I'm going to be so excited if that's the case. I have literally avoided the synopsis just so I can watch it, like look at it with you. Okay, who is it? Who is it? Please. Yes! It is about Freddie and Ro. I am so excited. I do remember that in the book, Ro was tutoring Freddie because Freddie was having problems in class. He has ADHD, he has dyslexia, and then he also has dyscalculia, which is like a form of having problems with math, which I completely understand as well because I'm horrible with math and numbers. So she's helping him with his schooling or his work. I'm not gonna look at what book 3 is, but it's probably gonna be Bennett because Bennett has been mentioned a lot. He is Reese's like best friend from childhood. So I'm going to assume that's Bennett's book. And then there's a 4th book coming out, which I don't know who that is, and I don't know. I think it might be Kane. Maybe? Kane is actually the character who hurts Reese, and there's definitely something going on with him that feels like it's building up to a book. Like, he has a lot of problems, and it feels like there's trying to be like a redemption arc for him, and he has a lot of like anger issues, and I wonder if he's going to be one of the love interests in the future. So I think it's going to be, after Freddie, it's going to be Bennett, and then it might be Kane. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to look though until I read the book. So after I finish this one, I'll look at book 3, and then after I finish Unbound, I will look at the 4th book. It's not out yet. It's coming out in October, but I want to look into it. Let's get started with Unloved, which is book number 2, and let me tell you about how I feel about this book, give you some updates, and let's talk about it. So let me go and start Unloved. I hope I'll like this one even more because I really like Freddie and Ro. So let's get into our second book, which is Unloved, and let's see if I enjoy it. It's almost midnight, which is my birthday, but we have 8 minutes until my birthday. But I just wanted to come here to update one little thing. One little thing. This was actually in the first book. It's really cute to see like the contrast between the books, but Freddie is using his shoelace to tie her hair up because he doesn't have an elastic. So he literally like takes the shoelace out of his shoe so he can tie her hair up for her. Like, that's commitment. And I love it. I like Freddie a lot. Hey, I'm trying to do an aesthetic. See what I did? I put 3 white candles for 30 and 2 blue candles for 2. Okay, it's melting. Let's just sing happy birthday.
Before it gets into the cake.
Yeah, oops. So cute. Why do I sound like a guinea pig? I'm halfway through it. And there's a part. There's a part. The first kiss. If you want to kiss someone, I'm right here. Fantastic. It's fantastic. Well, hello. Hi. It has been a few days. It is actually the 29th of March. I forgot what day it was. I forgot what month it was for a moment. It's going by fast. I am currently sprinting, as I always do, and I am almost halfway through Unloved, and I'm liking this one a lot more than the first book. So this one's obviously following Freddie and Ro. Freddie, I really, really like him. He's usually like the player that's always sleeping around. But when it comes to Ro, he's really interested in her, and they are kind of building a friendship prior to anything else. And I really like that. Although this whole like, we're only friends thing, it's annoying at the same time because they obviously like each other, and yet they're like denying it so that they can just be friends. And I'm just frustrated by it. I get it, but it's frustrating. I still like it though. It's still, in my opinion, already better than the first book. We're halfway through. There's been a few things, but not all the way yet. They've done other things though, mostly him for her. And it's really nice to see because Ro has a really bad relationship with intimacy because of what her boyfriend put her through. I hate her boyfriend. He's horrible, and he's not like physical with her, but he still is not very nice to her. He's like emotionally unkind to her. I don't want to say the word because of YouTube. I really don't like him a lot because of that, and Freddie's kind of helping her through it, and also just like going off on him because he's horrible, and so he's defending her, and good. She's also kind of getting better at doing it for herself, and I'm really happy to see that. I really like Ro a lot. She's a little bit more emotional than Sadie was, and has her heart on her sleeve, but I kind of enjoy that change of pace. There's another thing I kind of relate to with Ro is that she apologizes all the time. She over apologizes, and that's something I do, and it's really sad but really sweet because Freddie's always telling her you don't need to say sorry, like you did nothing wrong, and she still wants to say sorry just for saying sorry. I do that. I do that a lot, so it's kind of nice to see that in a character because I don't really see that very often. It is maybe an annoying trait to some people, and I can completely see that, but it's also relatable in my opinion. Also, there's not really much dialogue on like her being so small and his being huge. Thank goodness. She is 5'9", which is pretty tall for a female protagonist. I'm 5'7", and that's pretty tall. So 5'9" is a lot taller than the average. He's still 6'3", Freddie's still 6'3", so he's a lot taller than her still, but there's not a whole dialogue around him being a skyscraper. Thank goodness. I am a slight bit frustrated by the fact that they're just friends and how they just constantly mention we're just friends. We can't do anything together because we're friends. Like we can't be together. We can't kiss. We can't date because we're friends. And I get because she wants to kind of put parameters around the tutoring thing, but it's also kind of frustrating because they're doing things still, but they still keep saying they're friends. And it's just like, you guys both like each other. I want them to take it slow, and I love the slow burn, but it is a little frustrating at times. I still like it. It's a little bit annoying because it's like, we're only friends. And it's like, I don't think friends do these things, okay? I don't think friends do this. I don't do this with my friends, but sure, I guess. And then the last update until I continue reading is that Kane, who's actually the one that hurt Reese in book 1, the one that like body checked him and the reason why he had all the issues to begin with, Kane is in this story, and he was in book 1 and he joined the team, and there's like a lot of tension between everyone. But I love Kane. He's like heavily tattooed. He has dark hair. There's a part where there's like a Halloween episode and he's wearing the Scream mask, the ghost face mask. And honestly, Kane. But book 4 has like a Van Gogh background, and it's mentioned that he has tattoos all over his body that depict the Van Gogh like artistry, like the paintings. So it's obvious that the 4th book is going to be Kane, and I'm so excited. I don't know who he's with. I don't know anyone with pink hair because on the cover she has pink hair. I don't know who that's going to be. Although I kind of had a feeling that him and Holden would be together. Like one of the hockey players, his name is Holden, and he's always like defending Kane. And I thought it was gonna be like a male-male romance, but no. It's fine. It's just that for a moment I was like kind of hoping, but it's fine. He ends up with someone else, and that's okay. And then the 3rd book I'm going to heavily assume is going to be about Bennett and Paloma, because there's like some talk in this book about those two, and it's really cute. I'm so excited to find out. I love seeing the connections. I will say, reading these back to back let me see the story kind of coming together because we see the same scenes collectively. So you'll see a scene from book 1 into book 2, and then book 2 into book 1 and vice versa. And then also book 3 has moments that I don't know yet, but I will see in the 3rd book. Like we see him, Bennett, holding like Paloma on the stairs and like guarding her and like holding her in his arms. And that's definitely going to be part of book 3. And I'm just excited to see like the connections, because usually when I read these like years apart, which I usually do for series, I don't connect anything. So it's really cool to see that connection because I don't see that very often, because again, I don't read my series back to back, and I kind of wish I did this more often because it's kind of fun. So I think I'm going to finish it before I update you again. And I'm very excited. I'm liking this a lot more. It's already given like 4-star energy. So hopefully that continues and I'll love it by the end of it, or at least continue to like it at least. The shower scene. The shower scene is so good. Stop. I can't do it. Rude. Rude. This book's making me cry. All right, hello. We are done. Well, I am done Unloved by Peyton Corinne. So I am finished book 2, and overall thoughts. Let me just show you my star rating first. Out of everything else, let me tell you how I felt about this overall. First book I think gave like a 3 stars, or a little bit above, like 3.25. This one I gave it a 3.75, which is a lot better. I still enjoyed it a bit more. It's not a huge improvement from Unsteady, but I still had a better time with it overall. So I enjoy my time reading this one. I think the reason why I like this one so much is because I preferred the characters. I really like Freddie, who is a male love interest. He is like my whole heart. He's book boyfriend material. I love him so, so much. I wish the world for him. He deserves everything good in the world. And Ro, she's like very sensitive, very sweet, very kind, and I feel like people take advantage of that. And I just really like seeing both of these characters. I mean, Ro, I feel like I see myself in everyone in these books, I swear, but I see a lot of myself in her. And then with Freddie, he is like this playboy, but in reality, he's actually using his body to kind of understand how like people care about him. Like he kind of sees that as a way for people to love him almost, because he doesn't really get love other than that. And it's very sad to see. And the way that these two kind of like build a relationship up, the slow burn, because this is a pretty slow burn. I mean, out of the 2 books so far, this one's a lot slower, which kind of makes it the page count a little bit better. These books are like in the upper 400s range for page count. I think for the first book, it felt a little long. This book still felt a little long, but I feel like it made a little bit more sense because they were going a little bit slower than Reese and Sadie. So I still really like my time with this. Ro is really sweet. She is Sadie's best friend. And we got to see a little bit of the moments from the first book go into this book. And then we also see moments for the third book coming into this book, because you can definitely see that there's going to be some characters in the third book that are going to be reoccurring, obviously, and there's going to be scenes, and I'm so excited about it. So I am almost definitely sure that book 3 is about Bennett and Paloma, which I am so excited for. Bennett seems like such a cute, sweet guy. He gives off like teddy bear energy. He's dealing with a lot though, so I think that's why he's like very introverted, because of what he's dealing with. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to be in the next book, most likely. If you're interested in like hockey romance, sports romance, contemporary romances, and you don't mind like darker topics throughout, then I think this is worth a read, honestly. It's a lot of fun, but I still have one more book to read before the vlog is done. The third book is Unbound, which as you can see here, this is an arc that's going to be coming out on April 7th, so by the time I put this video out, it should be around that time. So I am looking forward to seeing how I'm going to enjoy this one. I cannot share any quotes or anything because I'm not allowed to do that with arcs, but obviously I'm going to tell you about vague scenes and just, you know, gush about everything that's happening. I'm very excited about it. I love the cover. I think the cover changes make it look so much more appealing to me. I honestly had no intention to read the first 2 books. I just wanted to read this one, and to kind of prepare myself, I decided to do all of them for this video. So I'm looking forward to actually trying Unbound, seeing how I feel about it. If I like it more than the first 2 books. This is also almost 500 pages. So again, I'm a little bit like, oh gosh, like does it have to be that long? I guess we'll find out soon. But I am going to actually go on my walking pad. I mentioned like way past in the past in my other vlogs, I used to go walking, but I'm very paranoid, I'm a very anxious person, which is ironic because Bennett in this book has really bad anxiety, OCD, and I think, what else does he have? Let me see. He has really bad anxiety, autism, and OCD, and all that combination kind of makes it hard for him a lot of the time. That's why he's kind of secluding himself from other people, because it's really hard to kind of adapt with other people, which I kind of understand some of that, not all of it, but I have really bad anxiety too. So I want to go out on walks. I want to like do more things. Now that's cool and not as cold, I could go on walks, but I'm still very paranoid. So for my birthday, I asked for a walking pad so I can walk at my desk, and my boyfriend got it for me, and I am so excited. I do have a health issue that makes it so hard for me to walk a lot though, so I have to be careful with how much I do it, but I'm going to go on a walk kind of, I guess, in my room, watch some booktube, catch up on it while I'm doing that, and read a little bit of this book not long afterward. So I might even read this on the walking pad, but I mean, I could do that. I can walk while reading. It's not safe, but I can do it. I'm very clumsy, so something bad's gonna happen eventually if I keep going, but I can't stop myself, okay? I like multitasking, so I have to do it. And then I'm also gonna make myself a coffee, an iced coffee, or like an iced latte. And I have soy milk. I have it right here because I have everything ready already, but I want to use this up because it's been in the fridge for a bit, and you're only supposed to really have this in the fridge for like a week, and it's been more than a week. So I want to actually use this up. I don't know how it tastes with almond milk. I do drink, like I'm not vegan, but I do like to minimize my animal products anyway. So I'm gonna try it with almond milk, hope I like it. I usually prefer oat milk, but I have 3 of these because they were on sale. So I'm gonna try this with my latte and see if I like it or not. I'm very curious. I'm also going to be using maple syrup, substituting white sugar, because obviously the Canadian in me wants to try maple syrup with my drinks. So I'm gonna give it a try it out, and then go on my walking pad, and then watch a little bit of booktube, and then get into Unbound, and I'm looking forward to it. So let me go and start Unbound, and I'll come back to you soon. Hello. I am in my kitchen. I just had groceries. Well, I just got groceries. I mean, I don't know. I had them. It's not like I gave birth to them. I just got groceries. My boyfriend went to work and I want to do a grocery haul. Oh, I like watching them. It feels like a very adult thing to do. Watch people get groceries. But you know what? I'm turning a new leaf. I'm trying to do better. My boyfriend and I aren't in financial turmoil anymore, so we're kind of trying to do a little bit better and getting actual produce once in a while and actually getting things that are kind of going to be sustainable for me to survive other than just, you know, processed foods. You know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. We spent a lot less than I thought today, which is always a win. So let's go over this really fast, okay? This is Canadian prices. So if you're American, these prices are a little bit higher than yours. Our Canadian dollar isn't the best in regards to exchange rates. Sorry I can't convert to your currency. That would take me a million years. So let's talk about what I got. There's a few recipes I want to try. So I got celery salt. What is celery salt? I don't know. Celery and salt probably combined. Celery seed and salt. Okay, well, point is, this was on sale. It's still like $5 though, like 5 something, which is a lot. But you know what? That was a whole $1 off. So that's a win. This will also last me my entire lifetime. And seasonings don't go bad, right? They probably do, but I still use them anyway. If they don't taste bad, I'll use them. Another thing that's kind of boring is parchment paper, because I just ran out yesterday, so I needed parchment paper. All the Easter stuff was 50% off, so I splurged and got 1 Eggies. I'm trying to do better, like I said, not eat as badly because I've been doing a really bad job. So I got 1 little thing of Eggies, and I love Eggies. They are some of my favorite candies. So I got 1, and I'm actually kind of shocked I didn't get more than that because there were so many different snacks there. You wouldn't believe it. So discounted chocolate, yes, for the win. I got batteries. I'm not eating them. My food scale has been telling me that it's low on batteries, and I've been procrastinating. I hope this is the right size. I took a picture of the battery so I wouldn't mess it up. 2 of them for $8, which is still kind of pricey, but again, 2 for $8 isn't that bad. You know, the fact that I'm putting things behind me, so you're gonna see it collecting in the background a bit. I got bay leaves. I only needed 1 bay leaf, but it came with like this many for like $3. And I said, all right, sure. I probably won't need any for the next lifetime, so that's great. Another very boring thing, I got garbage bags. They were like, I think around $6. Let's go on to the rest of the food items. One is going to be this, which was also on sale. How much was it? We mostly shop at Superstore and Walmart because they're like right next to each other in our area. So we usually get Superstore and Walmart items. $8.47, but there are 216. This lasts me almost a year. So, I mean, that's, like I said, $8 for this many tea bags is a lot. I wanted to get decaf, but decaf is like double the price. And I guess I'm gonna have my caffeine because I'm not paying double. We're having caffeine, I guess. Woohoo! Pizza sauce, they're like 94 cents each, and they taste just as good as other sauces. I do add more seasoning, like basil and garlic powder and stuff to it because it gives it more of a flavor. Because I've been addicted to pizza lately, homemade pizza, so I can't stop making it. It's so good. We got corn because I do like corn as well. I got a pineapple. They were also on sale. They were like $2.50 for a whole pineapple, and I'm happy with that. I used to hate pineapple, random thing about me, and now I like it. So, ow, it's prickling me. Anyway, it's kind of hurting me, so I'm gonna put it away. It's causing violence. But yeah, this was also very cheap, and I was happy to see it because I want more fruit, you know? I'm trying to replace my like sweet tooth with like, instead of like processed foods, I'm trying to have more fruit. So because it's like the spring and summer seasons coming up, it'll be a reasonable price. It's still expensive, but it's gonna be more reasonable than like the winter months. So I'm kind of excited to actually get produce instead of sugary foods because I want to try doing better with that. I really need to get better with that. So I'm going to try doing that this year now that I don't have to worry about it. So I'm excited to do that. Let's do the bread. I have a lot of bread. I'm pescatarian, so I eat mostly vegetarian, but I do have fish from time to time. So I'm pescatarian, which also means I like a lot of bread. I love myself some bread. So I got a few loaves. I do freeze a lot of them. Trust me, I don't eat all of this at once. I also live with my boyfriend, so it's just us two. So a lot of bread, but again, we're gonna freeze most of it. This one was, so this one I swear, it was supposed to be like 95 cents. It literally said that on like the thing it was on. And then I put it into the till and it was actually $2. So I was kind of like ripped off, but it's also $2 for this much bread. This is probably like my unhealthiest thing I got today. But the reason for that though, there's a good reason for it. It's like pre-seasoned turkey stuffing bread. So it's kind of like the bread you use for stuffing. I love stuffing, but there's hardly ever any stuffing that is actually vegetarian, that's like pre-made. It always has chicken stock or turkey stock, so I can never eat it. But when I have it like this, I can actually put my own seasoning. So I usually put like chicken stock that's vegetarian, like vegan chicken stock, and make my own stuffing, and it tastes amazing. So I'm gonna freeze half of it and then make the other half of stuffing. I'm so excited. I love stuffing so much. So I'm gonna freeze half and then make half of it and then like devour it. No, not at once. I'll try not to at once. The other stuff is like normal bread that we get. My boyfriend and I get our bread from the superstore because they make it in-house. So we get like the non-processed bread from there. That's why I usually don't get that kind of bread. But usually I get the bread that they make in the store. And one of them was this one. I've never actually tried this before, but this is egg sesame bread. And because it's going bad soon, it's on discount. So it was $2.25 for this. And I haven't tried this one yet. And I like to try different kinds of breads they make in the store. I also love sesame on like anything. So I am interested. And then the one we always get every single time we go is the brioche. They make brioche bread. It is amazing. It's delicious. And it's $3 for this loaf, which isn't too bad. It tastes pretty good. So $3 for this. Sometimes it's on sale if it's like going bad soon. So we get it for like $1.25 sometimes. My favorite one. This is our favorite one. It tastes delicious and I definitely recommend it. Tortillas, these are like $4. I don't know why they're so expensive. They used to be like $3. Inflation, I guess. But tortillas, okay? We love to have like wraps and stuff. So tortillas for the win. Always have them on hand at all times. We love it. Last and not least, we're going to the refrigerated stuff. So this is kind of the stuff that goes into the freezer. Unless you count like the fruit. So some of them are not obviously freezer, like lemons. These are not going to be in the freezer. I had this for a recipe to use the rind and the lemon juice into one of the recipes. I forgot which one, but I obviously got 2 lemons. They were 94 cents each. So that's a win in my book. Cheap, which is nice. From my local grocery store, which is like literally like local farmers kind of thing, we have apples. I wanted to try these apples. These are cosmic apples and I haven't had them before. I'm sure they're like basic and they're pretty much just renamed as something else, but I'm intrigued, okay? I want to know how it tastes. I think they were like $4 a pound, so a little bit pricier again, but they weren't too bad. I don't know how much they were because my boyfriend didn't ask for a receipt. I always ask for receipts, he doesn't, and it's annoying because sometimes he'll say no and I'm like, should have said yes. Always get your receipts back just in case. That's how I see it at least. Let's go milk. Okay, so I get my milk in the bag and if you know, there are places in Canada, Ontario specifically, I think, where we have bagged milk. And yes, we do this. Not everyone likes it. I don't mind it. It's really easy to freeze because obviously a lot comes with it. I think this is like $6 and it comes with 4 liters. So I don't know if that's a good price or not, but it's a lot better than getting a carton because the cartons don't like we don't usually use a whole carton before it goes bad. So we want to make sure we use all of our milk, which means we freeze 2 of them and then we keep 1 of them. Let me show you how this works. If you're not from Canada, you might be very fascinated by this. So let me like show you how this works because I kind of want to show you guys like culture, you know, our culture. This is what it looks like. This is the seal test one. There are 3 in this bag, in the bag. So there's bags in the bags. It's a bagception. And I'll show you what they look like. I think the reason why they do this is like storage. It also has less waste. So there's less like plastic used. I think that's like one of the main reasons, like storage, less amount of space being used, which is storage. What am I talking about? And then like less waste. Now that I look at it, it's really unappealing, but it comes with a bag of milk, as you can see. And there's 3 of them. It's like a baby, like literally, like look at this. I don't know why I'm holding it like that. It's kind of weird. And I just lay them flat in my freezer and I freeze them like this. And you could just store them in the freezer. Because we're not drinking 3 of these in like a month. So we do freeze 2 of them and then we'll put them in our bag holder. I don't know what it's called. It says milk pitcher, but this is what we do. We put it in like a little pitcher and we have these, which are like kind of like a little razor. There's like a little razor on the inside and you take the corner and you just slice it and you slice the corner off and it has like a little spout. I don't know why. Now that I think about it, I don't know why. But like I said, it's probably one of those reasons I mentioned and this is how we do it. And some other places in Ontario, not everyone in here does it, but some of us do. We do have cartons though. We actually do have cartons, but it's more bang for your buck if you get it in bags. That sounds like a slogan. That's a little random thing about some of us in Canada. Let me know if it's anywhere else in the world that does this because I don't know. I genuinely don't know. People make fun of us for it. But you know what? It's innovative. I'm sure it's innovative somehow. I don't know how, but it is. For $6.50, we got eggs. This was on sale for $6.50 for a dozen eggs, which is pretty expensive. We do have even cheaper eggs, but I don't like getting the cheapest eggs. I think the cheapest option was like $1 less, but it's whatever. I prefer brown eggs, but I do have white eggs instead, which would have been great for Easter, but I didn't decorate for Easter this year, so it's fine. We'll just do it mentally in our heads. But I like making deviled eggs or like potato salad and stuff. So it's always good to have some eggs on hand whenever I feel like eating it. We got cheese. It was a little under $5. It's like 4 something, which is usually a good deal. It's getting soft. I need to put this away in the fridge very soon. We got Caesar dressing and ranch dressing. This is mostly for my boyfriend. This was mostly for me. I have things I want to add to this, like carrots and broccoli. So I'm very excited to have ranch because I like ranch with my stuff. It does taste a lot better with it. I can't really deny it, okay? I should eat it without all that stuff, but then I won't eat it all. So I got creamer. This was also very cheap. It was like $2.50. Usually it's like around $4 or $5. So this was on sale. So I got this one. This is for my tea and my coffee. We got this sad looking, why is it in plastic? I don't like how there's so much stuff in plastic, but we got this one little thing. It was $1. It's going to be for my ranch dressing. It looks like a club. Speaking of plastic, we got another thing. This is cauliflower. Why did I say it like you don't know what a cauliflower is? This was only $2.94. So again, not too bad. I want to make cauliflower soup. So I am very excited to get this. It was also a very good price. This is usually like $5 off season. So $2.94 is really good. So that's also a very good win. Next, we got coleslaw. I make my own dressing for this. It's very good. It's like obviously like a vinegar mayo kind of dressing. I'm making this tonight for my dinner. Yeah, it's almost 7 p.m. and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm probably gonna be having this with my dinner, coleslaw. It's so good. We got shrimp. I like my shrimp. I feel guilty eating anything that used to be alive because again, I was vegetarian for like 15 years and then I started eating pescatarian the last few years, but it's very high protein content in this and very low calorie. So I tend to enjoy eating this when I can, but again, I have a hard time doing it. I hate eating fish, but it's helped me a lot with other things in my life. That's why I'm eating it now. I have a skin condition that's really bad and it kind of helps a little bit with it and it also helps with my energy levels. So I've been eating fish from time to time, but shrimp is like my kind of my go-to because it's pretty decent. It's $10 for this bag, which is pretty, like I said, hefty, but again, has high protein content. 10 shrimp alone is 24 grams of protein. I need my protein. I need to up it. I have a really bad time not doing that. So shrimp is a really good way to do that for me. We got lettuce. Look how pretty this is. This is my favorite lettuce to get. It's always like $2 something cents, around $3 off season. In season though, it's like $1.50, $2. And it's my favorite. It's in Walmart. It's so good. It looks like a bouquet. It's so pretty. But yeah, this is delicious. It's like my favorite lettuce now, more than romaine lettuce. And I just love it so much. I'm so excited to be eating this. It's my favorite thing ever. I don't know, I'm holding it like that. It's like very crunchy, very crispy. It's like the crunch of iceberg lettuce. So yeah, my favorite lettuce by far. And the last two things I'll show you at once, green onions and parsley. This is for another recipe I want to have. I think the green onions for potato soup and this is for something else. And I love parsley, it's one of my favorites. In the spring and summer seasons, I usually make my own herb garden. So I'll probably make my own parsley outside when it's nicer out. But for now, I just buy it. Literally less than $2 for this and 94 cents for this. So I'm not too mad about it. It's not that bad. I'll show you all the things I got and the total amount for everything in this video, $106, which is wild. That's actually a really good deal. We did really well in regards to like saving and the deals themselves. So all of that was $106 for all of that, which is really, really good, by the way. I'm gonna put all this away because it's getting warm and I'll come back to you with probably book content. If this was boring, I hope you skipped it by now. You wouldn't be here if you skipped it, but like if you were bored, you could have skipped it. But thank you for being here. And I love grocery hauls. So hopefully you had a good time watching this and let's get back to the scheduled programming. Oh, the lighting is atrocious. It's almost 12 in the morning, but I know who Kane's gonna be with. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Paloma just met with a girl who she's gonna be roommates with. And the girl just introduced herself. She's like 5 foot. She's really small and she seems really sweet. And her name is Lily. And she has red hair, but I think in the next book it's pink, but like it probably gets diluted because it's probably just like a vibrant red that goes, you know, it dilutes when you wash it and such. Like, you know how hair dye works. I don't need to explain it to you. But her name is Lily. And in book 3, along with the Van Gogh paintings, why do I forget his name? Anyway, the guy in the next book, he also has a tattoo of a lily. At least one, if not multiple. And when I think Ro asked him, like, why do you have, like, what's up with the lilies? He didn't say anything. Oh my God. This is why it's so good to read things close together. Because I actually remember things. I am so excited. Like, I'm finally introduced to this character. I'm just freaking out. Because I figured it out and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I mean, the series isn't like a 5-star series, but I'm still having a great time with it, so I'm not complaining. And I can't wait. I can't wait. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. Wait, what? I should have probably read more, but she's talking about Van Gogh. I need to know what's gonna happen. Does that mean they have a history? Okay, I'm gonna keep reading it. I just need to know more. I am here for my second last update for this video, and I am 50% of the way through Unbound. Why am I feeling like I'm so low energy? I'm in like the week before my period, so I am a little bit lower energy than usual, but I had coffee. It doesn't really seem to be working, but it's fine. We are 50%, or I am 50% of the way through Unbound, and I'm liking it, but the reason why I'm hesitating is because it feels like it's less of a romance and more of a kind of figuring out these characters, because they're going through a lot. And I mean, this is probably the darkest book so far of the 3 books I've read. Bennett has his own kind of things that he's dealing with. He has autism, he has anxiety, he has OCD, and so he's very like slow with how he feels toward people. He's very careful and he takes his time. So when he's with Paloma, it's very much a hesitant relationship. They're more friends in the beginning and then they kind of branch off after that. But there's also like constant flashbacks and flash forwards. So you're going into the present tense and the past tense, which some people don't like. I'm unsure how I feel about it, but I'll talk more about that later. And then we have Paloma, who's dealing with her own issues, and oh my gosh, her problems that she's dealing with are so messed up and so dark. There are trigger warnings in the beginning of this book, so if you need those, I would recommend either looking at that or looking it up. And some people might not want to know because it's kind of like spoilers, but I will say that she has dealt with things when she was a child. She had adult men do things with her while she was a literal, like, in my opinion, a child. So like 14 years old and like 10 years old. So it's a lot of darker themes with this book than the other 2 books. So yeah, definitely go into this carefully. There are trigger warnings, like I said in the very beginning. I skipped over them personally because I don't like to know these things. I like going into my books blind, but it's definitely important for people that need it because there is a few in this book itself. Nothing on page, but still like hinted and described like briefly about the past. So obviously be careful about that. This book is actually 1 year after the first 2 books. So Ro and Sadie are with their partners already. And so this is like I said, a year later. And then the flashbacks are 3 years prior to the present tense. So a year after the first 2 books, 3 years before that. And so Paloma and Bennett met 3 years ago and things happened. I'm still not on that part yet. I still don't know what happened to kind of have them kind of break apart, because in the flashbacks, they kind of become a couple. And then in the present, they want to be together, but Paloma's having a really hard time accepting love, which I kind of understand why, considering everything. But it's definitely like this back and forth. I don't know how I feel about the present and the past flashing constantly. I don't usually mind it, but the reason why I'm hesitating with this one is because there's no date, or it doesn't tell you how much time has passed. So when it says the past, I think that sometimes like a few weeks go by or months go by, and I kind of wish there was like a date, like what exact day it was, or at least like the month, so we could see the passing of time as we're reading from the past. I would like that. I don't think it really like makes it a bad experience, but it makes it a little bit harder to kind of realize when things occurred in comparison to the present. But I still think it's enjoyable. I like the past and the present tense, although again, this is not really like it's romance, but it feels like the romance is secondary to the character's development and how they're dealing with things. Like both characters have a therapist and they're talking to them, which is really nice to see considering they both really need one. So that's nice to see. But again, it feels like a lot of, it's not the same feel as the first 2 books. The first 2 are like very contemporary romance and it's mostly good. I mean, there's obviously still problems and there's still personal struggles, but this one just feels a lot more serious. I still think it's good, but it still has definitely a more of a serious kind of feel toward it. Bennett also has a dog. I think he was mentioned in the prior books. His name is Seven. He's a black Labrador and he's a service dog. I love him so much. He's such a sweetheart, and he is so sweet with Paloma as well. I just love Seven with my whole heart. As you could also tell by the cover, there's also poems. I think they kind of came together in class because of their poetry. So they actually end up kind of doing poetry together. They'll like send each other their favorite like poems or things that kind of relate to their current feelings toward each other. It's really cute. I'm not really a poem person. I'm not a poetry fan. I still think it's cute and kind of romantic. So, I mean, nothing wrong with that. And I think there's also like a few letters. I think he sends her like 1 letter at one point. So there definitely is that kind of vibe. That's why the cover makes sense. I enjoy the fact that these characters are very patient with one another. You kind of see them having this, like they do not rush each other, and they both really need a very slow kind of relationship, especially a physical relationship. So Bennett has autism. He doesn't like to be touched very often, especially if it's someone that he doesn't really like know very well, or he doesn't really like trust or something. So eventually when he gets close to someone, he will be able to do that. But until then, he has a hard time with that. Same. I don't like hugging or anything. And I grew up in a life where people are like, annoyed that I don't want to hug them, or that I hug badly, quote unquote, because I don't hug tight enough and stuff. And I hate that because like I just don't like being touched, and I feel like it's rude to just say no when someone wants to hug you. I know I should, but I don't feel comfortable saying no to people because it seems kind of rude. And I understand this feeling. I do not like being touched at all. So I understand that when it comes to Bennett. And so they do have a respect with one another, because Paloma also has an issue with touch to an extent because of what she experienced. So they're very like a slow, patient relationship that they have. There's a lot of like discussion prior to things, and it's really nice to see that with each other. Again, though, it feels a little bit slower, especially with the flashbacks and present day. It feels a bit weird because we see like their past relationship and their current relationship, and my brain kind of sometimes mixes them together. I'm like kind of trying to connect them but also keep them separate, which is a little bit tricky sometimes, but I still like it. I still like this book. I feel like the reason why I'm enjoying it more is because I think it's an important topic of like self-discovery, self-love, kind of understanding oneself. I think that's why I'm enjoying it more, less of the romance and more of that. So I don't know. I still like it though, but I don't know how I feel about it in comparison. It feels like a completely separate book almost, with the same characters. That might just be me, because the first two books also have serious topics too. This one just feels a little bit more intense. And then the last discussion point, which I don't know if this is true, like I think this is true. I feel like I've been noticing it, and I don't know if it's exactly accurate, but I feel like Bennett has been described a few times as being like softer. And I mean that, I don't mean that like emotionally, I mean physically. He mentioned that he's not like the super buff muscular guy. He does have muscle, but he mentions that he's like a little bit more softer in certain areas, and he's a little less like defined. And that makes me think that maybe he's like, maybe not plus size, but he has like a little bit of, you know, fat on him. And honestly, I love that because we never see that with male characters. I don't think I've ever read a book with like a not plus size, but like a male character who isn't like perfectly chiseled. And I am so excited to see that in a book because I love that so much. I also love that body type. It's very attractive to me. I like a lot of different body types, but that one is specifically where it's like you have a little bit of definition, but you also have a little bit of softness, and I love that so much. So it does mention it a few times. It's not really like obvious, but I think I caught on to that a few times, and it makes me so happy because I love to see it. And he loves to cook too, so he loves to cook, he loves to give people food. It's this kind of way of therapy in a way, kind of like to completely get his mind off of things and just cook and get food. So like he's a foodie too, and I'm just like loving it so much. Like his love language is to cook for people and to eat delicious food, and I love that so much about him because obviously like that's something I love too. So I just love to see that in a character. It was just really nice to see that as a male character. I like seeing representation in my female and my male characters. I think that a lot of male characters are cookie cutter, and a lot of them are similar. They all have like the same body shape, and they all have the same like physique, and they all have the same like appearances. So I love seeing something a little bit different outside of that kind of cookie cutter kind of thing. So I love to see that personally. But yeah, I'm going to continue this book. I'm probably going to finish this book within the next day or two. So yeah, I'm hoping I will enjoy the end of this book. I wonder if I'll like it more. I don't know. So far I'm liking it more than Unsteady, but not as much as Unloved. So I wonder where it's going to be placed in regards to like my star rating system. But yeah, I'm going to go read now, and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. So yeah, I'm going to go do that now, and I'll come back to you very soon. And yet again, this series is making me cry. It's not that obvious right now, but I am tearing up. And like, yeah. Okay, it's finally time for our final update for this reading vlog. This is the last update for Unbound and the Undone series as a whole. This is a very interesting rating system so far, because for this book, so far, book 3, I gave this a 3.5. So literally I gave book 1 3.25, book 2 3.75, and now the third book got a 3.5. So they were all within a like 1-star rating of each other. I mean, the highest rated book still in my opinion is Unloved. I think Freddie and Ro are my favorite couple of all 3 of them so far. But I really like Bennett and Paloma. Bennett and Paloma have a very different relationship as the first 2 books, or in comparison to the first 2 books. They just have a lot more going on with them, and it's a lot to handle. And I think that the reason why I didn't love it as much as I was hoping I would is because of the constant shifting of the time perspectives, and sometimes I got kind of confused with it. I still liked it. I think it was a really important read. I think that it concluded very well. I think it was a really sweet ending, although it was frustrating at times. Paloma's a very difficult character to kind of like, I wouldn't say to like, but she has moments where it could be a bit frustrating, although you can completely understand why, because of who she is, like what she went through. So it's hard to really get upset at a character that went through a lot, but there are moments of frustration where it's like, please Paloma, like this is what's best for you, that you deserve this, and she doesn't think she does, and it's just really hard to read at times. I did like it overall. I liked Bennett and Paloma, but again, not my favorite of the three. I still think Freddie and Ro are my favorites, which reminds me, I didn't really talk much about Freddie and Ro, or the book 2. I don't know why. I like watched this back, my recording so far, and a lot of what I talked about was book 1. Book 2, the reason why I didn't talk much about it is because there's like so much good things to talk about. I just really liked them together. Freddie's my favorite character. He's like the golden retriever goofball, and I really like that character kind of dynamic. That being said though, I like Bennett. He's like the sweet kind of quieter guy, and I do like that, but I still think I prefer Freddie over him. I actually think I like Reese more than him too, but I like Paloma more than Sadie. It's very confusing. I like all the different characters differently, and it kind of like ranks differently. But yeah, I still liked it. I had a good time with it. Was it worth reading all 3 books to get to this one? I think so. Especially because the last book, book 4, is Undone, which is the final book in the Undone series. And this is coming out October 27th of this year. I cannot wait. I am so excited. This is going to be following Kane and Lily. And despite the fact that I like Freddie, like the blonde hair golden retriever, this is like the complete opposite. This is Kane, who has like dark black hair. He has tattoos all over him. He's a lot more serious and the more like angry kind of character. And I can't wait to see more of him because you see a lot of him in Unbound, very much so. Although there's like a weird dynamic between Holden, Lily, and Kane. And I don't understand what's going on because in my brain, as someone that likes poly relationships, they kind of give me the vibe of being a potential poly relationship. I don't think it's going to happen because it's not mentioned in the synopsis. Holden is not in it at all. I'm just going to assume that Kane and Lily are going to be the only like couple, but Holden, there's something happening with him and both of the characters. Like Kane and him, I'm not going to say anything, but there's something that happens in Unbound. It's just mentioned that I'm like, wait, what? And then Lily and him have a moment in Unbound where I'm like, wait, what? So like, what does this mean? Like, why? I'm just so interested. I'm so curious. I cannot wait. Lily is like the bright-haired character who is very small and petite, and she's really sweet, and she has problems with her father. I think her father was the coach of Kane prior to meeting up and joining the current team that he's with Reese and Freddie and Bennett. So there's going to be some tension between Lily's father and Kane, which is going to be very exciting and also obviously nerve-wracking. And again, dark topics again, probably not as bad as Unbound because Unbound was very dark, but this one might not be as bad. Although in the synopsis of Undone, it does talk about the fact that Lily has depression. So I'm assuming there still could be very dark topics touched within it. And as someone that has depression, again, I feel like every single book has something that relates to me. Maybe that's why I like them as well. But I had a really good time with the series so far. I am dying to read Undone because I think it's going to be my favorite. I love Kane, so I think Book 2, Unloved, and Undone, Book 4 are going to be my favorites of the series so far, but I have to wait until October to read it, so I am looking forward to it. Probably read it in November because it's the very end of October. I probably won't be able to get to it, so I probably will read the next book in November, and I cannot wait. Oh yeah, the last little thing is that Book 2 and Book 3 never mention the size of the female character, hardly ever, so the whole like, she's so small and he's so big, barely happens after Book 1, and I'm so relieved to see it. So just letting you know, that does not continue throughout the series. Thankfully, it stops. Although Book 4, she's 5 foot and he's like over 6 feet. So I'm a little bit scared to see how that's going to happen. But hey, even in Book 3, when Bennett was like 6'5", it wasn't mentioned. So you know what? I call that as a win. That's a win. I'm glad that kind of stopped as I went. And I didn't have to worry about seeing that again after Book 1. But anyway, that's all I felt about the series so far. I think the series overall is a 3.5, considering the fact that I gave 3.75, 3.25, and then a 3.5. The average is kind of right in the middle. But that is all for this video. Sorry, this was a bit longer than I expected it to be. I do apologize, but I had a great time, and I'm finally going to be finishing this series. I had a good time. I liked how I got to read this back to back because I got to see the connections, and there are a lot of connections within these books. So I definitely recommend rereading them or just reading them closer together. I say that because that's kind of hypocritical of me to say because I never read my series together, but you know what I mean. You know, I'm just trying to advocate. I'm not taking my own advice, but I still like to give advice. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you for being here. If you want to, leave an emoji down below. Put anything with hockey, so like an ice cube or a hockey puck, hockey stick down below, because this is a hockey series, so that does kind of make sense, I guess you can say. If you are here still, thank you so much. This is a very long video, so I do appreciate your patience and watching. I do really appreciate you being here, very much so. Have a wonderful day, have some amazing reads, and hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.